will start with the opening remarks from our CEO and also from the head of Mansa. And later on, we will have a presentation or summary presentation on the introduction of the Mansa. And we'll also have a short video which summarizes about the Mansa. And we'll also welcome the participants to raise their questions. And later on, we'll officially launch the platform. Without saying many things, I don't want to preempt other speakers. I'm very happy to welcome you all, and I want to thank you all for joining us today to the official launch of the Customer Due Diligence platform, the Mansa platform. And I hope you will learn and you will find that the platform is benefit for your business and will help your business to benefit, especially at this time when we are supposed to take advantage of African Continental Free Trade Area. Without saying much, I wish to welcome my CEO, Mr. John Bosco Kalisa, to give his opening remarks. Karibu sana, CEO.
Yeah, thank you, Zephania, and I want again to recognize the presence of our board members present on this launch. Recognize our corporate members on this call, and also the staff of EABC and our partners from Cairo, from Exim Bank, Maureen and the team for this excellent platform and engagement, where we are going to launch a Mansa digital platform between EABC and the Afri-Exim Bank. Maybe before I dive into the details about this event, I wanted to just a quick highlight in terms of giving a snapshot of the impact of COVID on our economies. The COVID has had a devastating impact in terms of the output losses, in terms of sliding back some of the gains we had already achieved. As you know, EAC has been the fast growing economies in Africa, where on average we had, before COVID 2019, our average growth rate was around 6%. But due to COVID, the growth has declined to now around 2.7 to 3.4.
I think we cannot hear you.
Am I clear now?
Hear you. Just proceed. Yes, now we can hear you. Just proceed, sir.
You are very clear. You are very clear, CEO.
Maybe, yeah, I'm very clear because I have. Okay, thanks. Yeah, so the COVID has had a devastating impact on our economies. We've been looking at the tourism sector, which has been one of the sector that has been recording a double-digit growth, where the output losses have been estimated around $5 billion US. Another sectors like industrial sector has also been heavily affected by COVID. So the EAC, despite all the challenges, the EAC really displayed a kind of resiliency in terms of repurposing some of our products and ensuring that we put in place, or our government has put in place measures to contain the spread of COVID. And I wanted to really thank the leadership, our leaders from across the region, in terms of strong and sound measures that they have put in place to contain the COVID. Of course, the cases are still there, but they are not so significant. And we are seeing a couple of weeks that economies are slowly recovering from the effects, and that's a good news. It's a good news that some of the sectors like tourism, they are registering some positive trend. I've been talking where I'm attending this industrial week in Tanzania, talking to some of the investors. They are saying that there are good signs of recovery, and given the measures that our region has put in place. So let me say that we at EABC, and with the strong support from our board members, we are putting in place a number of measures to support recovery and building back our economies. Of course, some of the measures is to ensure that the vaccination rollout is expedited. We are doing our awareness with various government agencies. We are engaging. We are actively engaging on cross-border trade, supporting our partners, our members, our goods to continue to flow with minimal hindrances. A number of our initiatives are in place, especially where we have trade information portals across the region, and we are seeing that a number of governments also are putting in place some stimulus packages to support especially the recovery of key sectors, including tourism. So Mansa due diligence platform is very critical. It is we view it from EABC perspective as one of the tools to support the recovery, as we will be able to provide critical trade-related information and ensure the compliance, raise the compliance level for our SMEs, and also including corporates. It is going to provide important information on imports as well as exports, and it will also link our SMEs to development banks and other platforms related to payment systems. So as EABC, we view it as an important tool, and we are very keen and supportive in terms of rolling out this important tool across EAC region. It comes at the time and at the right time when the EAC we are undertaking sensitization programs and agenda to various members of our country to take advantages of CFTA. Given that EAC has positioned itself as one of the leading trade agenda, so we ensure that these tools, including the Mansa platform, will help us to understand and de-risk some of the perceptions related to investment in East Africa and the entire continent. So I look at the benefits of the platform in terms of promoting good governance, enhancing transparency and accountability, promotion of inter-African trade through providing information on all African countries, also showcasing our natural endowments and opportunities that are available for both trade and investment. So it is really on our side as EABC, it's a key platform, and we are very keen and very supportive of this platform. And our members will be able to profile their business, their products, posting the information required for them to benefit from a continental free trade area, which is a very good consolidated market of around 1.3 billion people. And again, given the effect of COVID, we've realized as a region that it is important also to strengthen our systems and the processes as we endeavor to trade across the region, as well as we trade with the rest of the world. So with those few remarks, I want to thank the organizers, the Afri-Exim Bank, the Mansa CEO, and my team, especially Zephania, Geoffrey, and others who have been coordinating this event. And really, I wish you a good and excellent deliberation. Thank you very much, moderator.
Thank you very much, CEO, for that detailed remarks. And of course, by highlighting some benefits of the platform to the business community. Thank you very much. And of course, I see some new people joining. Those who are joining, welcome to the launch of the Mansa platform. We are still on the opening remarks. And the next speaker now is Madam Maureen, the head of the Mansa initiative. Madam, welcome.
Wow. Good morning. Thank you very much, Zeph, to start with. And also using this opportunity to thank my colleague, Fahad, who has been working with you on this important initiative and event. Thank you, CEO John Bosco Kalisa. Thank you, honorable distinguished board members of the EABC. Thank you, our very distinguished guests who are here today to witness this memorable event. And of course, the launch of this relationship between EABC and the Mansa initiative of Afreximbank. I don't need to go back to history to start telling you about our great institution, which is the African Export-Import Bank, which is your bank also, because all the EABC member countries are shareholders of this great institution. The bank being established to promote intra and extra-African trade in 1994, when it was actually inaugurated in Abuja, Nigeria on August 25th, 1993, has been at the forefront of promoting trade, intra and extra African trade, particularly exports from Africa. And those exports from Africa, what do they speak to? They speak to finished or semi-finished goods, because Africa is noted to be a commodity exporter. And when you talk about commodity exporter, these are raw commodities. And when these commodities are manufactured, they are brought back to our continent, and we pay heavily for that. But thank God, when I listened to the CEO of EABC narrating what we've gone through during this pandemic and how it has impacted our different economic sectors, it gives us great concern. But the good news is that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. From what he has also hinted during his remark, that today we are seeing some recoveries. The economies are bouncing back, and there is hope that we will get there. Because it's when we lose hope, then we don't have that certainty. We are quite uncertain. But with a great continent like Africa, I think we all have a big role to play to make this continent what we want it to be. I'm happy when he talked about the risking. That has again impacted us, the risking of African economies, not only the financial sectors. We were all impacted when this happened, because they affect, whether you talk at national level or country level, it affects the continent. So with the growth, with the birth of the AFTA, which is the African Continental Free Trade Agreement, we see Africa rebounding. We see Africa taking its place at the global economy, or committee of nations, as you may call it. So we are all here to work together. Your bank today, which started as a 740 million bank in 1993, that is shareholders' funds, has today risen to 3.4 billion shareholders reserve. And we're talking about a 18 billion balance sheet bank today. So you can see the growth rate of the bank and how it has impacted the continent as a whole. I stand proud to say that I am an African, and Africa has a great potential. But how do we actually come up with those potential? Is by working together like this, collectively, having that one vision about our great nation, about our great continent. What are we all trying to do to achieve? That is the important question we ask ourselves. We are all trying to transform Africa and transform Africa's trade. That is the one key word or one key statement we all have on our lips. The bank started this journey and in collaboration with different African countries and African sectors, both private and public sectors, we are able to move and get to where we are today. When the CEO was talking about the impact of the pandemic, the bank, in collaboration with the AU and different African countries, have been able to roll out vaccines in recent weeks and actually deploy them. They are being deployed to different African countries. Also, the Director General of the World Health Organization has also been talking about it. The WTO, the Director General, has also been pleading with the world to make sure that this vaccine gets across the nation. And not only that, we are proud to say that we, as a continent, we started also manufacturing this vaccine, and we are rolling them out in their numbers. So today, your bank, the African Export-Import Bank, in collaboration with the AU, have started rolling out these vaccines to deploy them to different African countries. Like I said, we are an African institution. We are a Pan-African multilateral financial institution. And you, as one of our stakeholders, I believe we all stand to work together. The bank provided the PPE for all African economies who are actually involved into either importing or manufacturing drugs for this pandemic and all the other peripheries, the materials that are used, the type of the disposable caps, the disposable shoes, and all the other peripherals that are being used at the different sector to address this pandemic and to keep all of us safe, manufacturing of masks and all those materials. So I think we are proud to say that when the CEO was saying it, I was proud to say, yes, we are getting there. Our economies will revamp by our great minds, and we will get there. So today we are launching a great initiative. And like the CEO said, that initiative is an initiative that will help growth in the continent, and an initiative that will help to expose our different entities, that we hope to promote intra-African trade under the AFTA regime. And the question is, what is that AFTA regime doing for us? Is to remove those stringent measures, break down those barriers that impede trade in the continent. So we are happy to say that we are part of it. We are happy to say and proud to say that we are happy to have you as great partners, as great stakeholders, whom with together will make Africa great again. And the Mansa repository platform is a great initiative, and it's a game changer. It's playing a role of actually answering to those challenges that Africa is facing today, and together we will make Africa great again. I think I will stop on this note, and because of the time, we want to stop on this note and hand over the platform, the floor to Zeph. Thank you very much, Zeph, and thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you very much, Madam, for the opening remarks, for your giving the remarks, detailed remarks. And I think for the interest of time, you may proceed with the video and narrative. So I leave it to you with Fahad.
Okay. I thank you very much again for giving me the opportunity. And today, let us just talk about the great events we are launching, which is the Mansa Repository Initiative. It's a great platform. And in 2016, when the bank was developing its fifth strategic plan, the bank has actually come up with five strategic plan. The fifth one is the last one, which is ending this year, and is dubbed Impact 2021. Africa Transforms. It's an initiative the bank has taken time to define and during its fifth strategic plan, because the bank looked at what is happening in the continent and, of course, talking about the de-risking, talking about the challenges we had in recent times, particularly in 2015, when non-African financial institutions started departing the continent for fear of not having adequate information about African entities. And where you have information about African entities, they are inadequate. And also the huge cost of doing compliance in the continent. The bank, during that fifth strategic plan, defined three important areas. And those important areas were, number one, the bank talked about intra-African trade. Today, when you look at the continent, we are not trading amongst ourselves. The trading amongst ourselves, you will say, is just about 16% domestic trade in Africa. Whereas if you look at the continent global, if you look at the other parts of the world, other global economies, domestic trade constitute about 60 to 70% of the economy. And we all know that domestic trade is the great income earner of any economy globally. So when we are talking about just 16% in Africa, it's a great concern to everyone, whether you are in the private sector or in the public sector. So the bank looked at that pillar as one of its great pillars to examine, and that is intra-African trade. The second pillar talks to export development and industrialization. You will agree with me that today we are not an industrialized continent. We export more of raw materials than finished goods. So with that industrialization, building different centers of excellence, certification centers in Africa, that will actually grow our economy and help us to start being recognized as industrialized nation. And of course, in terms of export development, adding value to the goods we export from the continent. The third pillar talks to trade finance leadership. Again, in my opening remarks, I talked about how we are actually experiencing departure of non-African financial institutions, leaving every country in Africa with one confirming bank. In some cases, there are no confirming banks in our countries, and that is a great concern. That has put a big plug in trade finance, in trading amongst ourselves and across with the rest of the world. The fourth pillar talks to financial soundness. Has the bank got that type of finance to make this heavy lifting? And that is where we all talk to today. The bank has been making that impact, developing, making sure, speaking with every African government, speaking with every African economy, see how can we work together to make sure that we raise the funds that will help us to impact our great continent. And of course, talking about these four pillars, which form the fifth strategic plan, we dubbed it Impact 2021, Africa Transforms. And when we look at it, we see that we have a great job, a daunting task in the continent. And when the bank look at those four pillars, how do we now go about it? We need certain tools and materials to be able to deliver. And that was how the Mansa repository platform or the Mansa initiative came to birth. The Mansa initiative is here to serve the continent. It talks to 3 pillars as well. You have the KYC CDD, which is actually a great concern in the continent, whereby we don't have information. And it has given Africa that negative risk perception of a place to do business. And like I earlier stated, that led to some departure of non-African institutions from the continent, where we talk about the huge cost of compliance, not having adequate information, and so on and so forth. So with the Mansa repository platform, we see it as a big game changer. We see it as the answer to African challenges when it comes to intra-African trade, when it comes to having adequate knowledge about our great continent. So with that, the birth of this great initiative, we have been moving and we have been trying to get everybody on the stream, on the work stream, making sure all inclusiveness, making sure we all unlock those potentials we have in the continent together. And this Mansa repository platform, like I said, is a game changer. It will help our SMEs. It will help our SMEs to bring them out from those comfort zones, to create visibility for them, to give them access to both domestic funding support and international funding support. It will help our SMEs to start diversifying their products, making sure that even if you are a cobbler, a mender of bad souls in the streets, tomorrow you will be a manufacturer, shoe manufacturer, because from mending of bad souls, you can develop with the Mansa assistance, with Mansa help, with Mansa support, you can now start having funds to expand, having partners to bring ideas to your product, whereby from mender of bad souls, you start manufacturing the sole of those shoes, you start manufacturing the lace of the shoes, you start manufacturing the leather of shoes, and from there, you are now a shoe manufacturer. That is how we advance in our businesses. I take the Mercedes of this world. Mercedes started with a man putting nuts and bolts together. Before he now saw that those nuts and bolts together, he was putting together, he has growing demand for it. And from there, he invited his brother to join him on that business. And that is how they grew from a one-man business to a conglomerate. Today, Mercedes is a household name all over the world. So you can see how we in the continent, how our SMEs can also grow from one-man business, from family business to conglomerates in Africa, giving us that opportunities to unlock those potentials we have on the continent. Like the CEO talked about during his opening remarks, the bank also has rolled us a lot of other initiatives. You have the trade information portal at the regional level. We have the trade information portal at the continental level. So those regional level trade information portal can actually integrate into the global, into the continental trade information portal. Today, if you look at the Mansa platform, you look at the second pillar, it talks to invest in Africa. It gives you information. When you click on any African country, it gives you the comparative advantage of that country. It gives you the investment climate of that country. It gives you the GDP of that country. It gives you actually the particular place you can do business in that country. And if you want to dive to get more information, it gives you the link to the trade information portal of the bank, whereby you can now trade and start engaging with the partners you want to talk to about doing business. So you can see that we have actually thought it through to come up with a platform that addresses all the challenges we have. We also have the third pillar, which talks to news and events. if EABC, as we are having this event today, which I believe is being recorded and which I believe we go on the newspapers, on the social media, on the network media, both print and electronic, in our different countries in Africa, and particularly in your region and in Cairo, whereby in Egypt, whereby you will show that today EABC and Afrexim Bank has launched the Mansa initiative in that region, and you are a very strong partner of this great initiative. So you can see that we have taken into consideration all the areas we think that will help us. We are also looking at drilling down into the local languages. I think at our initial meeting with EABC, we held those discussions. How can we start interpreting this initiative into local languages to make sure that all our entities, the grassroots, the one-man businesses, they start getting involved into the work stream and actually eliminating that informal market, making every entity to see again the importance of good governance culture in our continent. And I believe that today, with marking this great event, is the beginning of our important partnership, of our moving Africa to the next level, of bringing out all our entities, particularly the SMEs, bringing them out from their comfort zone and exposing them to the rest of the world, and also making them, encouraging them, building that trust and confidence in trading amongst ourselves, particularly with the AFTA regime. On this note, I may want to pause because today we have started engaging. We are talking to different entities across the continent, across the globe, on the importance of the Mansa repository platform. Once you have your AEI code, you will enjoy the benefits, leverage all the benefits, not only from Afrexim Bank, but from the entire African continent and across the globe. We have the Pan-African payment settlement system that we are rolling out in a very short while. That system talks to you on how you can use your own local currency to transact business within the continent. You don't need to go and look for dollar. You don't need to go and look for euro. You use your own local currency, whether you're a buyer or seller. And that platform, which is the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System, will take care of the transaction, and you will get your money, exactly your quoted price, exactly what you are, the expectations of your returns. You will get it correctly without going through the rigors of looking for foreign exchange. So these are the other important initiatives the bank is rolling out. We have the guarantee bonds, which we are also working with the COMESA in East Africa. We launched it as a bank, whereby you have the bond, the trade bond, or the guarantee bond, which allows you to use one bond from Cape to Cairo. Rather than at every stop, if you stop in Tanzania, you issue another bond. If you stop in Kenya, you issue another bond. No, with this type of the trade guarantee bond, which the bank is coming out with, the transit guarantee bond, that will allow you to use only one bond, one single bond, to go through to make sure your goods transit from your origination to destination without any hindrance, without stopping you on the way. So today you can see that we have actually come of age, because an Indian author also said Africa is coming of age. They have come up to build a centralized due diligence repository that will actually enhance trade in Africa, that will help Africa to grow, that will help African businesses to grow and expand and create jobs for our growing youth. So I will pause on that, because there are lots of opportunities we're going to talk about, and I know we will be expecting a lot of questions from our different stakeholders. I will now call either on Zeph or my colleague, Fahad, to play that 5 minutes video. Thank you, because if you allow me, I can go on and on and on and on, because we have a lot of potentials in the continent. We have a lot to share with our great continent. Our continent is endowed both with human and natural resources, and we should not lose sight of that. We should actually gain from it and start exploring and exploiting those opportunities. Thank you very much. And I give the floor back.
Thank you very much, Madam Maureen, for that insightful introduction about the Mansa platform. And of course, the meeting is recorded, and I wanted to assure you that we will publicize this event through different news channels and social media to make sure that the message goes across the continent. And I think before I welcome the questions, Fahad, you may proceed with projecting, with playing the video. And after the video, I will welcome question and answers from the participants. Fahad.
Thank you so much, Zef. I'll allow me share my screen.
Basically, the video will summarize everything that Madam Maureen has mentioned.
Right. Please confirm that you're able to see screen.
Yes, Fahad, we're seeing your screen, but it has not started.
Okay. All right. Let me start playing it now.
Mansa, Africa's due diligence data platform, is named after Mansa Musa, who was the 10th emperor of the Mali Empire. He is credited with placing Africa on the world map and opening up many trade routes in the 14th century, as during reign, the Malian Empire may have been the largest producer of gold in the world. He is said to be the only man ever to control the flow of gold between Africa and the Mediterranean. Today, information is the new gold, and the Mansa repository provides a single source of Africa-wide primary data required to conduct customer due diligence checks on African counterparties. It facilitates the availability of Know Your Customer (KYC) information of African entities. Whilst promoting good governance practices, the Mansa platform delivers insight into Africa with the ultimate aim of increasing trade. It does this through access to intelligence on due diligence to enable trade, as well by revealing the investment environment and opportunities to promote trade. Today, Mansa aspires to leave a legacy for trade through enhanced trading relationships and changing the perception of risk on the continent. Mansa features Africa-focused data and information, online access, one-stop place for sharing and accessing of due diligence data, collated information for KYC checks in line with global standards, self-service onboarding of contributors and subscribers, fully automated customer due diligence, CDD profile workflow, independent corroboration process for contributed data and information, availability limit, single window to access investment promotion agencies of all African countries, access to top intra-African traded products. The Mansa's key players include Afreximbank, the operator of the platform, contributors, financial institutions, corporates and small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, who voluntarily contribute their data on the repository, subscribers, consumers of the data and information shared on the repository. Subscription is open to all after verification of access. Verifiers, entities that have coordinating or regulatory authorities, as well as associations, registries and credible market entities, such as top 4 firms, credit bureaus, corporate affairs commission, stock exchanges, and others. The benefits of Mansa are numerous in addressing today's trade challenges, the most important being, for subscribers, one-stop access to CDD information on African counterparties, smoothing of African entities' customer onboarding, reduced compliance costs, consistency of CDD information across various entities in Africa through standard templates in line with global best practices and standards. Provision of visibility on ultimate beneficial owners, UBO. For contributors, enhanced regulatory compliance through use of standardized template, ensuring consistency of customer due diligence information. ED. Reduced regulatory risk. Increase in transparency, potentially leading to expansion of trade or business relationships in Africa and the rest of the world. Promotion of the integrity of your organization and business owners through credible and independently corroborated data, potentially reducing current high barriers to access to capital, particularly for SMEs. Reduced compliance costs. For Africa, vis-à-vis the development impact, governance, Africa-wide impact, risk management, trade promotion, single primary source for KYC. In the final analysis, Mansa is the digital platform that aims to leave a legacy for trade on the continent by addressing de-risking and changing perceptions through providing insight into Africa in the form of intelligence on due diligence data for enhanced regulatory compliance, as well as information on investing in Africa. Its ultimate aim is to enable increased trade with Africa and in Africa.
Mansa is the answer we are looking for to bring international financing back into Africa. Because of rising compliance costs, we've had many international banks cut credit lines to African institutions. Many countries have barely
Fahad, are you there?
gain access to the customer due diligence information they require without getting involved in activities that cost so much money. So it will reduce the compliance costs significantly and therefore open the doors of Africa to international trade finance banks again. We hope that this will be a major contribution to the drive trade finance gap we currently seeing in Africa.
Mansa, Africa's due diligence data platform.
Thank you so much, Zeph. Hopefully the video played properly. It was just a few technical glitches because of the internet, but hopefully the message was quite clear. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Fahad. And of course, at the end of the video, there was a lagging because of the internet. But at the end of the session, we may play it for the benefit of others who have not managed to see it all clearly. And I wish to welcome those who are continuing joining. And I think the video has given them the summary of the Mansa. And now I wish to welcome all participants for the session of question and answers. The floor is open. You may raise your hand. And of course, I will welcome you, or you may use the chat room to raise your question about the Mansa platform. Welcome all. Karibuni sana. Or you may open your mic. I hope I'm audible.
Defania.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. Thank you very much. Again, I want to register my appreciation to Maureen and the team for elaborating about the platform. And I really want to appreciate them in terms of translating the platform in terms of languages. I wanted just to say that a number of our members, given that a number of them are also SMEs, it's important that both the video and other documentation related to the platform be translated and in both English, French, and perhaps even Swahili to enable the wide access to the information. I think that's very critical on our side. Again, for our viewers, we also plan to have physical launch in our capitals, in our partner states, and it is going to attract and ensure that we engage everyone. No one should be left behind in terms of accessing the platform. And again, some of the questions will be raised related to the market access issues. Maybe my question also to Maureen is on the production data. I'm not sure if I would be able to access some of the data related to the gender, the youth, and other interest group that we are trying to promote. At the EABC, we now take a note and recognize the role of the youth in business in our integration agenda, as well as women. We do have a women platform, and I think the window to simplify the information for those micro and small enterprises also would be very critical. So perhaps those are the few areas I wanted to open up, raising to Maureen, if those windows for youth and women could be created under this platform. Over to you, Zeph.
Thank you very much, CEO, for the appreciation and for the raising the question to Maureen. And of course, Maureen, before you respond to what raised by our CEO, also I have received another question. Someone is asking if there's any requirement to access the platform, any cost. I know the answer, but I would like you to respond for the both question. Maureen, karibu, welcome.
Asane, thank you very much. You say Asana Sante. Thank you very much, Zeph. I think to start with the CEO question, yes, if you look at the platform, you go to www.mansaafrica.com today. We have actually, when I said SME, I mean all inclusiveness. We started with a network called the BTN, Borderless Trade Network, that mainly comprised of women women entrepreneurs in the different sectors of the economy. I was amazed when we had our training and webinar with them, and we see women involved both in energy sector, both in buying and trading across borders, moving their goods from one border of the African country to another. They are involved in energy. We have women in energy. If you go on the platform, you will see a lot of them. We see women in different pharmaceutical. They are in different sectors of the African economies, and we were amazed. This BTM cuts across the African continent. And we actually, we want every entity to be on the platform. So we have created that window. If you look at our template today, we have designed that template taking into consideration what is happening globally in terms of looking at the demands from Wunza's group principle, from FATF recommendations, and from Patriots Act, from the different sectors of the global rules and regulations where it concerns compliance. And we use those materials, and we drill down to the African continent to see what is obtained in our continent by making sure we don't leave any stone unturned. We looked at what actually belongs to our continent. We see the constraints our entities have in providing those information, and we try to simplify them. CEO, you will agree with me that today we have 3 templates, one for financial institutions, one for African corporates, another one for the SMEs. And we've tried to simplify it in such a way that every entity will actually benefit. And we have segregated them into 6 categories. The first one talks to ownership identification. That is, who are you? Where do you do your business? Your registration information. We look at you, your location, and your email address, contact details, and the rest of it. The second one talks to your shareholding structure, whether you are a family business, you're a one-man business. That's why we start from where we start, trying to institutionalize your business for you, trying to create or to promote that governance culture. Because even if you go to do your business in the bank, to register, to open an account, the bank will first of all ask you, who are you? What do you do for a living? Where do you live? That is the initial KYC. If you don't have those information, no bank will open an account for you. And even when you open that account, you have to go and refresh your KYC information on an annual basis. If not, your account will be blocked and you may not have access to your funds, even though it's your money. So we are trying to inculcate that discipline of having good governance culture amongst our different entities. And I believe, CEO, it calls for work to action. And it's for us to do that. And what is being said here, our entities requires a lot of education, a lot of sensitization, a lot of training. I was happy when you were talking about going to the grassroots, taking them individual countries, translating all our documentation into the languages they understand. Not everybody have access to CNN. Today you go on CNN, you see Mansa, you see what have you, but not everybody has access. So we are drilling down to make sure that even our entities at the grassroots, they turn on their local television, they see everything about Mansa. It starts being a watchword. It starts being a household name for every entity. And when you see the benefits, when you start reaping from the benefits, you won't be told to join the Mansa family. So with your AEI code, which is the African Entity Identifier, which Mansa automatically alerts to you once you onboard your information on the platform, it gives you that leverage. It gives you that opportunity. So I think we are looking at the youths as well, looking at the women as well, and we've been onboarding them on the Mansa platform. If not for the pandemic, probably you would have seen us in all the regions, working with you, making sure we hold those webinars, seminars, conferences, workshops, training, education to ensure that our entity starts embracing the culture of good governance, that's understanding that what we are doing is for their own benefits, and together we will achieve that success we are looking for by transforming Africa and transforming Africa's trade. Going to the other question, which talks to what are the costs involved. Yes, when you are putting your information on the platform, you don't pay. It's free, just for you to go there and upload your information and enjoy the benefits of putting your information on the platform. By the way, this is the first phase of the Mansa platform. We have actually, the Mansa initiative, we have segregated them into different categories. This first category, which talks about centralized due diligence repository, knowing that we have information asymmetry in the continent. So this platform is a one-stop shop for every entity in whatever economy, African economy you find yourself. You will find your information on this repository. So we are counting of millions and millions of profiles on the Mansa repository platform, whereby you click any name in any African country, in any African region, you get that name and you will say, okay, I have this information about the entity. We have developed our template. We have the mandatory fields. We can share it with you. I believe Fahad has shared this with Zeph, and we can go ahead and share it as many times as possible just to start educating our public and letting them know that this information you are providing is for your benefit, is to help your business grow, is to expand your business, is to give visibility to your business. So for you to put your information, contribute your information on the platform, you don't pay any fee. But when you are a subscriber, because you are going into the platform to look information about other entities, probably Zeph and Sons Limited, you want to know who they are, you want to know where they are located, you want to start engaging with them, you have to pay a fee. And we have a subscription fee model for that, which I believe Zeph can also, Fahad can also share with Zeph, and that will get across to you. So I don't know, based on this, if I have been able to address the questions that were raised. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the good answers. And of course, I've received more questions. And before I mention the more questions, I want to, of course, to appreciate the presence of our board member from Burundi, Amelie. Amelie, welcome. And now about the questions, there's a question from chat room from Vimal Shah, and he's asking, to what extent will the due diligence give me real-time and latest information, and how often will it be updated? Does the due diligence give me credit rating, availability of the financing, etc.? Will there be any credibility, third-party confirmation of the credibility? So those are 3 questions in one from Vimal Shah. And also, I've received another question from WhatsApp, and someone is asking how secure is our data on the platform. Maureen, I think you've captured those questions. Please, you may continue responding.
Maybe before Maureen, Zeph, just yes. Again, I wanted to alert Maureen, like the Vimasha is our previous EABC board member. He's one of our corporate, and his company is one of a conglomerate. So it is important to know that, especially when you are responding to the corporates, the information that is required to the corporates and the information required to SMEs, if you could disaggregate that, and again, that is a critical question from him. In terms of the third-party confirmation of credibility, and how often you update the information.
Thank you very much, CEO. For the Mansa repository platform, in creating and developing that platform, designing that platform, we've taken a lot into consideration. Before we even, after the bank conceived the idea of establishing a centralized due diligence repository, we invited our external legal consultant to tell us how to make some research or conduct some feasibility studies about this type of platform thriving in the continent, and were the nuances where it concerns data protection, where it concerns different countries' policies, where it concerns and so on and so forth. And the answer, the response we got was, we can work collectively with our African governments, African entities, African regulators to make this a very huge success. And by that, they actually came up to the conclusion during our discussions that if we get this right, the continent is on the right pedestal. And if we don't get it right, then there's no need we going into that, venturing into that. And I will say, so far, the success story has been that we are on the right pedestal. We are getting there. By the way, the platform was launched, we had the official launch on 12th of July 2018, when the bank celebrated its 25th anniversary in Abuja, Nigeria. That was when the official launch of the platform was done. And we started rolling out the different documents, policy documents, framework that will allow the smooth takeoff of this platform. Until in 2020, November 30th, to be precise, we did the operational launch, which was attended by, and it was virtual, by the way, which was attended by 1,000 plus participants globally. Since then, we've been aggressively working on populating the platform. And the picture we are putting out there is that we want to provide a credible and authentic platform to our different stakeholders. We are cognizant of the fact of the negative perception, risk perception of doing business in Africa. And like I stated, we have information asymmetry in the continent. You can gather your information everywhere, but we are trying to bring all this information under one-stop shop and making sure we sieve those information. And that is why we are having EABC as one of our very strong stakeholders. That all information coming from EABC has been verified before they are validated by the Mansa initiative and published on the Mansa platform for subscribers to consume those information. And we have been working aggressively. For instance, we see the African central banks as the verifier of data that were contributed on the platform by the African financial institutions reporting to them. They could be insurance companies, they could be microfinance companies, they could be banking institutions, they could be, name it, that are under those jurisdictions, reporting to the central bank of that country or the central bank of that region, so that the information we have are authentic and credible. The platform is a web-based. You have it's online. You have the maker checker. And once the maker checker, who are the administrators, because once you confirm and upload your information voluntarily on the platform, you have to identify the administrator. The platform doesn't allow everybody on the platform. You must be an authorized administrator by your institution that takes care of every information uploaded by you or your members on the platform to ensure if there's any trigger, you upload, you refresh the information. We do today, the policy is that we do an annual review, which is ongoing now. But during the interim, before that annual review is conducted, if there is any trigger or any development in the organization, the administrator is there to actually refresh the profile and make sure that the profile is up to date. We have given bandwidth of information. For instance, when you talk about financials of an organization, for SMEs, we know you don't actually have audited financials, but you have management accounts, you have probably your bank statement, which covers you. So those information, if you have them for the past 10 years, you start updating 2010, 2011, 2012. The Mansa platform provides that type of window, so that there could be an organization, there could be a potential partner, a potential investor who wants to know what the track record of your company for the past 3, 4, 5 years. And when they go on the platform, they will be able to source those information. So we have taken into consideration while developing the platform and make sure we encapsulate all those information into the platform. Working with our different entities. Today, the central bank, by the way, for your information, the Association of African Central Banks has actually approved the Mansa repository platform as a hub for actually all banks in Africa, making sure that they are on the board, on the Mansa platform. So we are now discussing with different institutions, different African central banks, to start onboarding their own profile and encouraging their banks in their jurisdiction or other institutions under the financial institutions that are under their supervision to onboard the Mansa repository platform, just like we are talking to EABC today. So we see them as verifier agents of all information being uploaded from their various jurisdictions. The bank actually has a data policy, but Mansa is also coming up with its own data policy that will ensure the protection of all information on the platform. We are not God, and we know that hackers, they have sophisticated means of actually navigating and getting into platforms. So we are doing everything humanly possible to protect every information. We've used the captcha also, so we are using all necessary tools to ensure that the information on the platform are protected. And even though when we upload, when you go through the platform, if you visit www.mansaafrica.com, you will see the narratives about the platform, you will see the different areas of the platform. But when you actually click to go into information details, you cannot have access except you are an authorized administrator or authorized subscriber, because before you get into the platform, you have to subscribe. And you have the subscription model, which will allow you to navigate or explore the information you have. An Indian author came out recently and said, Africa, with an article, Africa has also come of age. They have come up with a centralized due diligence repository. And we in India, we want to replicate that in India. We're already working on that to see our government approving that, so that we have a centralized due diligence repository also. The Mansa repository platform is quite flexible. Other platforms in the region can integrate into the platform. We have had requests, proposals from logistic companies telling us we want to hook up to the Mansa platform so that we will know our partners we are trading with across the continent. So the Mansa platform is actually a game changer. So you can see with all the features and the platform, we can move forward working together. So for the private sector, we are looking at actually making sure, because these are the main players of the economy. And when we talk about the private sector, we are looking at the SMEs, we are looking at the corporates, we are looking at importers, exporters. So we see them playing big roles in the continent, and working together with these entities, we know will make Africa great again. I don't know if I've been able to answer to these questions, but if there is a portion I've not, please, I'm ready to look at it again. I'm available. Thank you. Back to you.
Thank you very
much.
Yes, thank you very much for responding on the issue of the data credibility, and I hope our passport director Vimal Shah has received those answers. If Vimal Shah, you have more questions, please welcome, and I also welcome more participants to raise their question before we go to the official launch of the platform. And of course, I wanted also to announce that EABC, the East African Business Council, will be the verifier of the information. And of course, the East African Business Council, we are working together with sector associations and other apex bodies in partners, EAC partner states, to make sure that information uploaded verified. Vimarsha, welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you very much, Zeph, and thank you, Maureen, for answering that question. I think it's clear now that this is going to be a good system. However, let's just make sure that the credibility of the information going on is verified and checked. So that's good. So I think this is a brilliant move. Currently, we don't even know whom we talk to, whom we deal with, and we get a lot of export inquiries, but you need to know who it is, where it is. I think this is something welcome. When does it launch, and how do we make it?
It was launched, like I stated earlier, it was officially launched on 12th of July 2018, but the operational launch was done on 30th November 2020. And as we speak, the Mansa initiative is being discussed at very high level at AU. AU's Department of Trade and Economic Affairs has already endorsed the platform as Africa's hub for due diligence matters. We are waiting now to present it to the Ministerial Council or Ministerial Committee of the AU so that it will be continentally acclaimed and approved by the African Union. Thank you.
Excellent, very welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Vimal, for raising that very important question. Any other question from the participants? You may open your mic. If there's no any question, then now it's time.
I wanted to ask, this is Geoffrey.
Yes,
Geoffrey. I wanted to ask how now the Mansa is going to be in sync with other repositories like the already existing repository under the FCFTA. We also have the ESA repository, and these are verified and updated information that are put out there for the private sector to dig deep into data and use. Probably, how is the Mansa in sync with these other existing initiatives?
Thank you,
Jeff. Maureen.
Yeah, thank you very much again. Like I earlier stated, the Mansa platform is very flexible. For the regional platforms, you can now integrate into the centralized repository, and all information about your entity will be actually onboarded on the platform. So that integration, we're already building the APIs because a lot of companies and institutions are coming up to see how, asking that question, how can we integrate into the platform? The platform is quite flexible, it's user-friendly, and we are enhancing at the moment to incorporate because, like I said, it's just at its teething stage, and we are encouraged by your feedback to see where we have to fill in those gaps, where there are gaps, and see how we can enhance. Technology is moving by the day, and we will not be left behind. And remember, this is a continental repository that actually talks to compliance and governance. So we are not actually leaving anything unturned. We are working together to make sure that the platform is fully up to date when it comes to innovation and technology. So we welcome any idea you have that could help us to enhance the platform. And I think that answers your question. Like I said, the platform actually is segregated into different phases. This is just the first phase of the platform. We are moving into the second phase, where you talked about credit trading, enhancing, enhanced due diligence, and the rest of it. By the year 2022, you will start seeing that, and we'll start addressing that and see how we can also work collectively. It's a daunting task, but we all need to work together to make it a success. Thank you very much. Back to you, Zeph.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Madam Maureen. I think now, if there's no any further question, we can now go to the very important session of the official launch. And of course, my CEO, Mr. John Bosco Kalisa, and Maureen. You will show the MOU that has been signed, and our CEO will launch the platform. CEO, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Zeph, and I want again to thank my counterpart Maureen for the excellent elaboration of the platform and adequately responding to the question. Again, I want to stress and underline that EABC is committed to work with the Afro-Exim Bank in terms of rolling out this excellent platform. So we've entered into an MOU in terms of our engagement, and this engagement describes the roles and responsibility of each and every organization. So we are excited. The work now begins from today, as we are going to highlight the MOU, demonstrate that this is a platform for Africa. This is a platform for East Africa. Let us all make it work for the betterment of our continent. So we stand strong and firm to promote this excellent platform. So now I call upon my counterpart, Maureen, to showcase the MOU. This is the MOU we endorsed, both of us, and I'll call upon our board members maybe to put on our camera, their camera, in terms of supporting this initiative. Those who are on the call, Madame Amery, kindly put on you. Amery is our board member from Burundi, and she supports the financial committee of the EABC board. So we wanted her to put to witness this demonstration by raising her hand. With Amery.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, put on your camera, Amery.
Yes, do you see me?
Yes, we can. Oh, you are not well visible.
But I see you.
Ah, okay. Can you see the MOU?
Come again.
You can see. Are you able to view see Maureen?
Let's do the camera as a big. Okay. Yes.
All right. So I think Maureen, lays the MOU. Maureen, you are muted.
Yes, Fahad is already lifting it on my behalf. Fahad, please, can you go ahead and lift the MOU? Because of the work from home, I could not, so Fahad has already doing that on my behalf. Fahad, please, can you lift up the MOU? We are signing today. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you very much. I think the comms team has managed to capture the picture.
Yeah, thank you very much, Maureen, and thanks to my board member, Mary, for witnessing the official launch and official signing of MOU. As Rachel mentioned, we are very committed, and we look forward to execute and implement the key components of Mansa platform. And I want really to stress and thank all our board members, all our partners, corporates, SMEs who are on this call, and we look forward to roll out and engage further in terms of understanding the benefits of this important instrument, trade instrument. Thank you very much. And I hand over again back to Zeph. Asantini sana.
Thank you very much, Asante sana, CEO, for the signing part of MOU and also the official launch. Thank you very much. And I think now we are coming to the end of our meeting. And I wanted to give the privilege to one of our board members to say a vote of thanks, and also welcome a team from Mansa team also to say a word of thanks. So maybe Amelie, you may say a vote of thanks just with few sentences. Welcome, Madam Amelie.
Okay, thank you, Zephania. I am happy with this platform for which will help more than more members of EABC. As a board member, I would like to thank the CEO of Mansa and everybody who were here together with us. Thank you for everything. Thank you to the staff who did well together with that, all who will work with closely with that platform. For sure, we will achieve more. Thank you very much.
Zephania, are you muted? Zephania, you're muted.
I had a network issue.
Okay.
Maureen, the closing remarks, please.
Yes.
I see.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes, Maureen.
Thank you very much, CEO EABC. May I invite my colleague Fahad, who is actually overseeing the region, to lead us on this closing, to make our closing remark. Fahad, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam Maureen. I would like to say thank you so much to the CEO for giving us the opportunity to engage, and Zeph for always coordinating. It's been a lot of work that has gone into this event from the very first time when we started engaging. I'd like to say thank you so much also the board of ESC for endorsing this platform. And I also want to thank Ms. Maureen Gamu for always supporting on any issue that comes up. So we are really, really grateful, and we believe that this is the beginning of a new dawn for East Africa and Africa as a whole. We believe that this platform is going to help our African businesses to trade more with each other, and also to create more opportunities for them to be able to grow their businesses. So thank you so much, Santi Sana.
Asante sana Fahad. I hope I'm audible. I also want to recognize the presence of our board director, Mr. John Bosco Rusagara. Thank you very much for joining. And of course, now we are coming to the end. CEO, is there anything that we've skipped, or do you have anything to add before we end up the session?
No, thank you, Zeph. I think we've covered all what we had on our agenda. Now, again, I want to record my appreciation to the board members, Bosco, Ameri, Vimasha, and other cooperative members on this call who are able to ask a number of key questions that would help to improve the platform. I want to thank the staff of EABC and also thank our counterparts from Mansa, Afri-Exim Bank, Maureen and Fahad. So we really look forward to engage further. The work has started, as I mentioned, it has commenced today. We look further to deepen this engagement. So I want to wish you a good day, a good week. Yeah, that's all from me. Thanks.
And thank you very much. And thank you all for joining. And I think I will ask my colleague Sylvester to play the video so that those who missed the summary of the Mansa, at least they can watch the video and see the summary of the Mansa and the benefit. Sylvester, please continue as we are ending up to play the video. Thank you all for participating to this very important meeting. Have a safe day.
Asani Santa.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zephania. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Mansa, Africa's due diligence data platform, is named after Mansa Musa, who was the 10th emperor of the Mali Empire. He is credited with placing Africa on the world map and opening up many trade routes in the 14th century, as during his reign, the Malian Empire may have been the largest producer of gold in the world. He is said to be the only man ever to control the flow of gold between Africa and the Mediterranean. Today, information is the new gold, and the Mansa repository provides a single source of Africa-wide primary data required to conduct customer due diligence checks on African counterparties. It facilitates the availability of Know Your Customer (KYC) information of African entities. Whilst promoting good governance practices, the Mansa platform delivers insight into Africa with the ultimate aim of increasing trade. It does this through access to intelligence on due diligence to enable trade, as well by revealing the investment environment and opportunities to promote trade. Today, Mansa aspires to leave a legacy for trade through enhanced trading relationships and changing the perception of risk on the continent. Mansa features Africa-focused data and information, online access, one-stop place for sharing and accessing of due diligence data, collated information for KYC checks in line with global standards, self-service onboarding of contributors and subscribers, fully automated customer due diligence (CDD) profile workflow, independent corroboration process for contributed data and information, availability of country profiles and investment climate, single window to access investment promotion agencies of all African countries, access to top intra-African traded products. The Mansa's key players include Afrexim Bank, the operator of the platform, contributors, financial institutions, corporates and small and medium-sized enterprises, SMEs, who voluntarily contribute their data on the repository, subscribers, consumers of the data and information shared on the repository. Subscription is open to all after verification of access. Verifiers, entities that have coordinating or regulatory authorities, as well as associations, registries and credible market entities, such as top 4 firms, credit bureaus, corporate affairs commission, stock exchanges, and others. The benefits of Mansa are numerous in addressing today's trade challenges, the most important being, for subscribers, one-stop access to CDD information on African counterparties, smoothening of African entities' customer onboarding, reduced compliance costs, consistency of CDD information across various entities in Africa through standardized templates in line with global best practices and standards, provision of visibility on ultimate beneficial owners, UBO. For contributors, enhanced regulatory compliance through use of standardized template ensuring consistency of customer due diligence information, CDD, reduced regulatory risk, increase in transparency, potentially leading to expansion of trade or business relationships in Africa and the rest of the world. Promotion of the integrity of your organization and business owners through credible and independently corroborated data, potentially reducing current high barriers to access to capital, particularly for SMEs. Reduced compliance costs. For Africa, vis-à-vis the development impact, governance, Africa-wide impact, risk management, trade promotion, single primary source for KYC. In the final analysis, Mansa is a digital platform that aims to leave a legacy for trade on the continent by addressing de-risking and changing perceptions through providing insight into Africa in the form of intelligence on due diligence data for enhanced regulatory compliance, as well as information on investing in Africa. Its ultimate aim is to enable increased trade with Africa and in Africa.
Mansa is the answer we are looking for to bring international financing back into Africa. Because of rising compliance costs, we've had many international banks cut credit lines to African institutions. Many countries have barely one confirming bank, thereby creating big problems for the continent. Mansa is an answer to that. Mansa will create the opportunity for institutions that want to do business for Africa to gain access to the customer due diligence information they require without getting involved in activities that cost so much money. So it will reduce the compliance costs significantly and therefore open the doors of Africa to international trade finance banks again. We hope that this will be a major contribution to the drive trade finance gap we currently seeing in Africa.
Mansa, Africa's due diligence data platform.
Thank you very much, Sylvester, for playing the video. Thank you all. We've reached to the end of the session. Asante sana. Thank you, Mansa team and everyone.
Asante sana, Joseph. Asante sana, John Bosco, Kalisa. Asante sana to all the executive board members. And have a beautiful day to all of you. And we look forward to this important collaboration and partnership. God bless you all. Bye.
Asante.
Thank you.
Bye.